everybody. Good morning. It is Monday. It is cold here where I live in Kanata, Ontario. Hey Google, what's the temperature? Drinking coffee.
The current temperature in Kanata is minus 23.
Minus 23 Celsius. Hey Google, what is minus 23 Celsius in Fahrenheit?
Minus 23 degrees Celsius equal minus 9.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
So it's minus 9 Fahrenheit. So, I just thought I would pop in. I said I was going to try and go live on Monday. It's Monday. It's 9 o'clock. I hope people pop in and say hi and have a cup of coffee with me. So today, I'm unsure. So my initial plan was to go out. Hey BJ Hunting, how's it going? To go out, I was going to call Laurier Optical and get an eye exam and get glasses for distance because I need them for distance. I'm at, last time I got my eyes checked, I was like -1, which is barely, like it's just under the amount that you would need to declare on your license. It just means like I have difficulty seeing the signs far away and like the leaves on the trees. But I've been finding lately that even with the brightness and stuff like that, it's been giving me more headaches. I had glasses a few years ago and I kind of squashed them and just never got new ones because I would only really wear them when I was outside. I never wore them really inside the house because I don't need to see distance. There's nothing really far. But it's so cold out. I might just stay home. Um, this evening I have Bible study, so I'm going out that way, but I'm getting a ride. So I have to kind of figure out if I'm going to stay home or I'm going to go out to go get glass. Well, I have to first call them to see if I can get an appointment. Hey, Fairy God Monster, how's it going? Good morning. As you can see, it's bright right now. We are, I think, supposed to get snow the next couple days. Hey, Amanda, good morning. I'm having coffee in the cup you sent me. Yes, the weather has been either warm enough for it to snow or really cold. Like right now it's minus 9 point something Fahrenheit, which is minus 23 Celsius. And we have humidity here, so it's like that wet cold, that goes cold to your bones versus the dry cold. So like in the summertime we get the humidity for the heat, and in the wintertime we get the humidity for the cold. Uh, yeah, I've been slow on videos. I have still a whole bunch I have to still edit, but slow on videos because, well, for 2 weeks I was at the children's hospital with my daughter, so I didn't do any videos there, and um, then over holidays I was slow because, well, trying to spend time with the family and with her being not well and her being lethargic and stuff, uh, everything just took longer. I hope that you feel better, uh, fairy god monster. Do you have like the flu? Yeah, it's going to stay cold here this week. Yes, well, so that's what I was contemplating. So it's minus 9 Fahrenheit, your temperature here. Is that really insane cold to you, Amanda? Um, I'm contemplating if I'm going out today or not, because I have to call the place to try and set up an eye exam. They say that you can, like, walk-ins are welcome, so I could just do that. But if it's this cold, I really, because where the bus goes near there, I still have to walk about 5 minutes. Oh, I've got nothing settles in stomach for a week now. Headaches, sinus, pressure, coughing. Ugh. I need to update everyone on my iguana rescues. They see it Thursday. Okay. Are you in the States? I was gonna say go see a doctor, because if it's the flu, they can't really do anything. But no, if it's a cold, the flu, I think they can give you antibiotics. I think if it's a viral flu, no, if it's a bacteria flu, you can get Virginia, you can get antibiotics. But if it's just virus like a cold, you just kind of like tough it through. I would take Gravol. I'd be eating soda crackers and ginger ale, and trying to keep at least making sure your liquids. The most important thing is your liquids to make sure. Oh, my hair is falling out there. Make sure you're hydrated, because you can get easily dehydrated quickly while being sick. I know my daughter, when she was in the hospital, she was nauseous and stuff, and she was not getting much food in her, but she was drinking well. So anything you can drink to keep down is good. If you can get Gatorade or anything like that with electrolytes, that could be helpful too. But it's basically, I know plain water is not so good. Chamomile tea might help, or peppermint tea. You need to eat, otherwise you aren't going to feel better. Exactly. And dehydration makes you even feel worse. And you can go from just barely dehydrated to severely dehydrated, where they have to hospitalize you. And then you gotta get IVs and all that crap to eat. Oh, have a great day. Bye, BJ Hunting. Have a great day. I had cereal this morning with a banana. I I don't usually have cereal. We're not big cereal. Like, we used to eat, my kids used to eat a lot of cereal, maybe about 2 years ago. Like, every second day they'd have cereal. And then, so I'd buy cereal when it was on sale. And then, literally, I haven't bought cereal in a year, maybe a year and a half. I still have this, like, brand new, so I opened one today of my Frosted Flakes. It's my kind of cereal that I picked up, because I said the kids had to finish up what we had before I bought any new ones, but they're not even big on cereal. Oh yeah, actually, my husband's home this morning. He's working from home till 10, and then he's Ubering to a meeting. But he had Pop Tarts. Oh, I have to give it to him. I toasted Pop Tarts. I made coffee and I put the Pop Tarts in. He likes the strawberry ones. I will be right back. See, there they are. For hubby. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I had forgotten that I had put them in the toaster, like a toaster oven. It's the one thing I love about my toaster oven is it shuts off. Yeah, he likes the strawberry one. Yeah, well, he doesn't do breakfast usually, but since he's home, he wants something in his stomach. And then he'll be going off to work. And I'm gonna make him like a meat cheese cracker plate container in case he doesn't have time for lunch, or if lunch is not provided, because he's going to a business meeting for work, and sometimes lunch is provided, sometimes it's not. That's his little indulgence, his Pop Tarts. I only buy them when they're $2 or less, um, because I hate spending money on sugar, but since he gives me the grocery money, I should give him stuff that he likes. And something quick that he can cook up. Need to grocery, maybe he can do. Yes, exactly. So, I mean, I did groceries on Friday. I have to still edit that video because I videoed it in the stores. I only spent $430 for the whole month. Like, I mean, because I didn't do groceries 2 weeks ago because we were admitted into the hospital. So, for the whole month instead of my 800 to 900. So, Miles turns 15 in 2 days. Gets driving permit in July. See, here in Canada, you have to be actually 16 to get your G1, which is it's graduating licensing. So you have your G1, and then that's to do your written test. And then if you do a driving course, an accredited driving course, you can apply to get your driver's test, the driving part, within I think 6 or 9 months from then. Otherwise, you have to wait the whole year. Well, that will at least. So my plan for January initially was to cut my groceries in half. Which technically I did, but that's because I just didn't do groceries. But then we used a lot of money for eating out, which we weren't going to do. But since we were at Chio the first few days, we ordered out, like from St. Hubert and Pete's, like subs and stuff. So for February, I'm continuing the low spend to do at least half for February as well. So that means I will have like a whole, like about hopefully $800 by the end of January and February that I can put towards um, like a meat order or something to that effect. I know January's only so yeah. So exactly that's like I did groceries. So I usually do groceries every 2 weeks. So that the amount of food I did pick up lots of fresh vegetables and fruit. So a lot of that will last. Um, well, definitely the 2 weeks. Um, See, that's the thing. I shop every 2 weeks, but I kind of purchase food for possibly 3 weeks because the day that I do groceries can be 2 weeks exactly, or almost a whole extra week. And um, so I've been trying to eat through my fridge, freezers, and pantry, and trying to eat the stuff that's been there the longest. Well, exactly. That's going to save the extra. Well, so yeah, either like well, that's why I want to use it for a meat order to get like um, you can get the meat much cheaper and better quality. But I have to make room in the freezer too, or save it for vacation. Yeah, that yes, I could do that. Like I mean, on my last one, my last low spend month, I gave Jeff back the money that I saved to put on stuff, to put on debt or for vacation or stuff. So um, and I've done my whole menu for all of February. But the way I do it, I write it down all on days, and then it's movable because I have almost all the ingredients for like 95% of the recipes. Pick up food as I need and to do one big trip. Yeah, 15, permit is 15 years, 6 months. Have to be enrolled in classes. Drive with licensed driver. Permit for 8 months. You can drive without licensed driver with parent permission. Yeah, so here you have to have, so your G1, you have to be with a licensed driver. There's lots of restrictions on it, like you can't drive on the highways, so anything over 80 kilometers an hour. Hey Google, what is 80 kilometers an hour in miles per hour?
The answer is approximately 49.71 miles per hour.
So that's approximately 50 miles per hour, so whatever, like I guess that's your highways. Um, without, you can with a G1 go on the highways with your driver's ed instructor, but not with a licensed driver. So, and you can't be driving. There's also some, like, time wise, I think driving times, after 11 and with a G1, even with a licensed driver. And you have to have 0% alcohol in your system. When you have your G2, you can drive with highways here 60 or 70 eek. Okay, so here highways are 80 to 100. So like the country highway roads, 80 kilometers an hour to 100 kilometers, the major highway. So that's 50 to, I don't know. That's why you guys, when you're up here, you always keep on getting speeding tickets, because you also think that our kilometers are miles per hour. And then we, and then with the G2, you can drive on your own, but again, you have restrictions. You can't drive, I think, after 11. You can drive on the highways. Again, have 0% alcohol. Um, and that, but then, and you can have your G2, then you can go for another test, like, and get your whole G. So having your G is just everybody else's license, and uh, then you can drive anytime. There's no, well, the only restrictions are the blood alcohol thing. So, major roads are 45 to 55. See, most of our roads here, well, the city roads are, in the school zone is 30 kilometers. Hey Google, how much is 30 kilometers an hour in miles per hour?
The answer is approximately 18.641 miles per hour.
So in the school zone, it's 18 miles per hour. And then most roads are between 40 and 60. I guess it depends on, like in the city. And then in the country, like the highways are 80 to 100. Wow. Hey Google, what is 25 miles per hour?
25 miles equal 40.234 kilometers.
See, that's our regular, not just school zone. School zone is less. I guess because we want it to be safe so that in the school zone you can stop if a kid runs out in the traffic. So, and you're not allowed to pass school buses, even though there's people that have been passing them. There's people have been taking videos of people passing the school buses, and I'm like, oh, it's just waiting for an accident to happen, like the one that happened last year in the States there, where a car passed the school bus and hit 3 kids that were going on the bus, like from one family, and killed them. Yeah, so neighborhoods are like you're 25 and school is 18, so I mean it's 30, 25 to 30 depending on, usually it's 30. When it says school zone, it's 30, but some school zones they've put it down to 25. Yeah, but they shouldn't. That's illegal. When the lights are flashing, and that's just like, I mean, that scares the crap out of me. if I had kids going on the school bus and people passing. Hey, Tom Tom, how's it going? But buses don't have cameras. Well, ours, some of them do, but people just put their phones in the windshield and record. Actually, they're scheduling them to be having cameras so that they can send the videos of the people's driver's licenses and stuff for the police to cite them a ticket, because it's just dangerous to pass. Try never to pass a school bus with flashing lights, because your chances of hitting a child and killing them is great. You know, kids are just trying to get on the bus to go to school or get off the bus to go home, and that's just like devastating. If your child like got hit by a car, like literally in front of your house, because that's where the buses are, like in front of your house or just down the road a bit. And it's worse in the country. Like people are just like, because they have to stop on the highway and but I mean, I'm scared. My kids, like, we live across the street from school, and they have to cross the street. But people are whipping, like, we're right on the corner. Like, it's not a 90-degree angle; it's rounded. So, and we're right by where the entrance to the back parking lot of the school is. That they just whip around. Yeah, well, exactly. I like you're not even saving that seconds, because what's happening is like you'd be passing them, but then you're stuck behind another car, or you're at the light. You know, like it's just not not safe. So um, I'm gonna add those recipes for my menu plan, which I think went up today, for the month. The recipes that I have, other ones are from the book, but I'll put a link to the book too. Um, what's it, Sandy Richards? I'm gonna Google that right now. All the recipes we've tried from there have been great. The only problems I have with it is that sometimes the vegetables or whatever um, that she has in the menu, I have to switch out because my family doesn't like the food, like those veggies. So there, find that link and put it in there. Hey, Steve, long time no see. How's it going? Yeah, I think that's what's been with a lot of people in January and February. Everybody being sick and hiding. How's your wife doing, Steve? Okay, well, I'll keep her in her prayers. In our prayers, not her prayers. Then, what is she going for again? Oh, do you guys have insurance? Like, is it covered and stuff? Cataract. Okay. Abby had cataract surgeries when she was 3 months old. 3 months and 4 months. So they removed the cataract and the lens, like at the time, because as a baby they just removed the lens. But her eyes were different shapes, so she never had a lens put back in. But it's but like, oh, ouch. See, Abby had, so the joys of Canada. Abby had them. We didn't pay nothing, and she had them at 3 months, and then 4 months, and she had at the same time cornea transplants. So, and then we had to go back at 5 months and 6 months. So at 5 months they took out half the stitches of both eyes, and at 6 months they took out the other half stitches because they didn't want to take out all the stitches at once because um, better chance for it to heal and stick and not fail, you know? I wonder if she had the stigmas done too. Ouch. And you guys are retired. How does anybody how does anybody really afford to get sick in the states? Because because here, for example, if you're retired, say you're on disability or pension, if you had a good pension from your work, you might be living pretty good, or if you have RSPs or whatever. But usually, when you're a senior or that, you're usually on a tight budget. Yes, your house might be paid if you're lucky enough, but most people are like downsizing and then they rent, so they don't have this extra amount of money. Like when you're working, and that you might be able to work extra hours to get money, but if you're retired and stuff, or if you're ill, how do you afford it? Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like, I mean, I don't know if I could live in that type of society where I'd be worried if if my if I got sick and still had to pay. Like, I can understand paying for insurance, but I want to pay for insurance that there was only like for our insurance we have a small deductible. Like it's literally like for prescriptions, it's like $50 a person. The first $50 of your prescriptions is out of your pocket. For eyeglasses, for example, $250 of your eyeglasses is covered. So if your eyeglasses and prescription is higher than that, only 250 is covered. Everything else is 80%. So you're only paying 20%. His oh oh my goodness! You should go and talk to your neighbor. Say, hey, when I get my Medicare, See, well, I said she retired if you're retired. Here, you retire when you're a senior. Unless you're like rich and famous, and then you can retire when you're like 40. I don't know anybody who's retired um, that is under at least 55 or 60. And even when they do retire at that age, it's usually because there's underlying medical conditions that they retire early. And then they kind of do odd job stuff. I have my ground beef defrosting. I took it out of the freezer last night and put it in the fridge. But when I took it out of the fridge this morning, it's completely rock solid still. I really only pay for stuff that would be considered cosmetic. I'm just now getting links to the recipes from Pinterest to put in my video this morning. I forgot to do that before I sent it off. So maybe you can get inspired with some recipes to try. Cost me like 150 a month. So do they take it off your Social Security? Is that Social Security deposit, SSD? Is that what that is? That's what Part D. It sounds very complicated. See, like my daughter was in the hospital for 2 weeks. She had 75 different tests being done. There was an MRI, endoscopy, stomach test, ultrasounds, x-rays, and a whole bunch of blood tests, some DNA blood test, a whole bunch of testing for different anemias, different like rare things, testing for celiac and vitamin D and all this stuff. None of those tests I had to pay for. Now, if she was getting blood work done outside, because my other daughter, we had blood work done, and me, we both got tested for vitamin D. We had to pay $35 for that blood test. Now, we just submit that to insurance, and they'll cover 80% of that. And so we'll end up paying like $5 or something. And then we collect all of what we pay for medical and put it in our taxes. And if it's over a certain amount of money, it lowers our tax bracket. So that's why I just don't understand. Like, as a person gets older, they are more likely to get sick. But as they get older, they also don't have the means to have the money to pay for being sick. And I think that's what the problem is is that here in Canada, when we are sick, we'll go to our doctors, we'll go to a walk-in clinic, or if we think it's quite urgent, we'll go to emergency at the hospital. Um, and they'll treat us for free, whether we have insurance or not. Like we have OHIP. Um, if you're from a different province or that, they will use that. Like Quebec, it's provincial insurance, which we don't pay for. Just well, we pay for it in our taxes, and we never have to worry that being sick, the costs associated with it. Like even though some of the blood tests or whatever we or shots like vaccines and stuff, some of them are covered, some of them we have to pay for. It's still only like $50 or whatever. It's not a huge chunk of change. And if we, God forbid, we ever get admitted to the hospital, even if we don't have insurance, you still get a quad room, so a 4-bed room, and you still get the same quality care. You just have more roommates. The biggest stuff in Virginia. But I've had friends in the States who've had kids similar situation of mine, having to be admitted in the hospital and then paying the bill, having to get a loan to pay the bill, or some sort of payment plan. I had a friend whose kid had cancer, and um, her she had to take off work because also the children's hospital was about an hour and a half away, so she had to drive that distance. Kid had cancer. She had to take off work. Her husband was working, and then also having to pay now more childcare for the other kids. Um, had to get a second mortgage on the house. Ended up having to sell the house and move the family closer to the hospital and buy a much smaller house because they couldn't afford it with just one income. And they still had like something like a $50,000 medical bill, and that was not including when she was out of the hospital, the meds she needed to survive, the chemo, everything like that. HSA account. So Ryan puts money in it every month, so do I. That's how our insurance works here. Like my husband's got work insurance, is that he puts some money in, and the rest is covered by his work. For family, we he puts is about $100, and even for our family, and that just allows us for in the hospital we have semi-private, 80% dental, 80% prescription, 80% massage, physio, psychology services, etc. Um, and 250 glasses, stuff like that. But so it's about $1,200 a year. We easily spend, we easily save that amount just on prescriptions for Abby and Jeff and me. We're the ones that have most prescriptions. Rowan doesn't have any prescriptions right now. As we get older, we'll just have more prescriptions, I'm sure. that can be used for. That's why I'm trying to be debt free. Gonna have things that doesn't ever happen. Copy the pets. Yeah, how's the new animals, Faye? Yes, but Amanda, most people don't think like you of putting money away of savings for medical stuff for when you're old and you can't afford it. Like my dad's sister lives in the States and she had medical stuff care. She still has bills that she has to pay. I mean, that's why she's living with her daughter because she can't afford to live with the amount of medical bill debt does. She's just constantly using her pension. Like she worked for, many, many years in good uh, jobs as like a nurse. I think nurse's aide. I can't remember. She was in the hospital. Like she went to nursing school, but I don't know what she did. And even that, she still has medical bills. I mean, pretty ironic that you work in the healthcare field and then you yourself get sick as you get older, and then owing money, like debt just overhangs on them, and it's like it sucks. My work reimburses $200 a year worth, so gym membership, yoga classes. Well, yeah, because and that's good for them because the healthier you are, the less likely you will be sick. So it's in their best interest to um, promote you being healthy. Having not so not commenting. Dave Ramsey said most people are normal. So beware. So I'm just being weird. This goes to plan. My house will be paid off. Wow. Ours. Our house should be paid off. Hmm. About 8 years, I think now, maybe. I think. What's your mortgage? Oh, mortgage? Is that what you're saying? Our mortgage is like $1,100 a month. I mean, our original mortgage when we bought this house at 209, and our house is worth now. It got added for taxes. Is now worth over 300. So, where we live. Oh, I'm gonna get hubby his iced tea ready, and um, yeah. So I think it's about 1,100 something, but then that's just mortgage, right? So then we have property taxes, which we pay quarterly, so we don't have like one big bill at the end of the year. And then we have water and sewer, which is paid, I think, quarterly too. Um, which adds basically about, if you add it up, about $200 a month. I have to put down like, yeah, we did we did the first time buyers program, which was um, which was a few years ago. If you're a first time buyer, you just had to put 10% down. So that's what we did. So we put like 10,000 down, not much. So our mortgage was like 200,000. You know, and we did not put our taxes inside our mortgage. My dad said to do that, but it was like, no, because then you're getting taxed on your taxes every month. But no, we paid them off. So the first couple of years was a little bit rough, of figuring out taxes and that, because we weren't used to it, because we were used to paying. Well, so before we moved here, we were paying $12.50 a month for rent, and then we still had to pay for heat. No, we had to pay for hydro, not heat, because our townhouses had heat included. So that was the only saving grace. But because the townhouses sucked for heating, there was like hardly any insulation. Like we felt a breeze from our front door. So I'm just making tea. Yeah, I'm making tea. I'm making him iced tea. I'm just pouring hot water on tea bags because I'm just fancy like that. And then I'll pour this tea over a water bottle of ice, and wow, there's iced tea. I'm not boiling. I'm awful. See, hot water right now. Tea, twigs. It's gonna turn color soon. Mine 7:30. We pay we pay taxes and insurance outside. Yeah. So we have a house. So yeah, I don't know if our house insurance is outside our outside of our taxes. Not outside. I mean outside of our mortgage, or if it's in our mortgage. I think it might be in our mortgage. I don't know, but I do know we now pay. I think it's 1,000 or 1,100. We used to be paying 1,200, and then a couple of years ago when we redid the kitchen, we refinanced the mortgage because it was due, and then we took some money out to be used for the kitchen on the line of credit. Means personally. Oh yeah, getting meat. There we go. See, we don't have a HOA or that's a homeowners association thing, right? We don't have that where we live because it's not condos, which is what we wanted. Yeah, you want them in there. Figure out. That's nice, Steve. We took out a 20-year mortgage, but every 5 years, we refinance. Well, it's up for refinance for the tax rate. So it's like a variable mortgage, but it's locked in for 5 years. So I'm just gonna. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't gotten to that point of trying to be um, making double payments. There we go. So what we've done instead, because we found for ourselves, is so since my husband and my daughter have a disability, there's our DSP, so Retirement Disability Savings Plan. So up to the age of 45, you can, depending on your income bracket, you can put money into an RDSP, and the government will match it either 1-to-1 or 3-to-1. So if you are lower income, it'll match it 3-to-1, and if you are higher income, it'll match it 1-to-1. So that this money, and then you can't take it out. Well, you can start taking it out if you need to at 45, because technically people with various disabilities, if they're quadriplegic, they might not necessarily live till 55 or 65, just because of illness and stuff. But this allows them, but you can take it out and then it gets taxed on that. He's been doing that. So he's been taking, instead of putting extra money on the house, he was putting that for Abby and for himself. And the we just found out about this. It's a program that just started probably about probably about maybe 10 years ago, and we knew about, but we just never had money for it. So I'm gonna give Jeff now some meat cheese crackers. You could backtrack, I think, 10 years. Keep refinancing into a 20, you'll never pay off. No, we didn't refinance it into a 20. We refinanced it for a 10, like for the amount of years it was, but at a lower rate. So we did, but we took some money out. So, no, we didn't refinance it into a 20. We just refinanced it for a 10. Like we still have 10, just a 10-year mortgage. It was more of just taking money out to do the kitchen. Because we needed to get it kind of done. Like it's a, well, I guess it's a line of credit on the mortgage or something. I don't know. And I don't handle the finances part. I do groceries. Fix what they jack with escrow. Borrow that reverse thing. Yeah, see, we were lucky the first, when we got our mortgage, it was really low. It was because we got the mortgage in 2002, and we were paying, I think, 2%. Now we're paying, I think it's 4%. Not a heck of a lot, because we got in just before the interest rates went high again. So that's the good part. I'm still on the fence about reverse mortgage thing. I don't know a ton about. Yeah, you'd have to. I don't know. I don't know how that works either. Where's my? But basically, so our mortgage was like, I think we had like $100,000 left. So we took it out for no, we had I think $9,000 left. So we took it out for 120,000, but only for 10 years. So we had the extra 30 or money back, or I don't know how they did it. Gotta be 62 for reverse. Well, yeah, then you use your house as your, I think, like a line of credit. We do them at my work, but you have to have special training for them, and I haven't done it yet. Okay, I just lost. Where did I put the cheese? Oh, there it is. I'm losing my mind. So my fridge is much better organized. A lot more fresh veggies now. And that's my lettuces and salads. I might do some peppers for him too, because I got a bunch of peppers. So yeah, I price matched these peppers for $1.97 for all four. They were like $3.97 at the store. I'll cut him up some peppers. Go with his meat, cheese, and crackers. Yeah, so no, what we've done instead of making double payments on the house, is setting up our RDSPs for my husband and my youngest daughter who has a disability. Because also you could be able, when you have a disability, if you end up being on disability, like Ontario Disability Plan, you could still take money out a certain amount without affecting your payments. And then all you have to do is pay the tax, or the tax on it as income or whatever, which is better than a regular RRSP. It's tax less, plus the government matches. Well, a regular RSP, the government doesn't match. So here, you could be paying $1,000, and the government could be paying 1,000 to 3,000. So you're getting free money. So not going to complain. And then for both kids, we have our ESP. So not a big one. So the education saving plan that actually my in-laws set up. They gave us, well, they set up and put money in towards their education for post-secondary school, which we are going to have the kids try and pay, they have to save up, say $1,000 before they start school to pay, like, that's half of a year's tuition or term's tuition. I can't remember. I think it's a term's tuition. And then we pay the rest. We don't want to give them a free ride. Plus they have to apply for grants and scholarships and stuff like that. There we go. Some meat, cheese, and some peppers. Not pepper. And then more cheese. And I'll give them a thingy of Triscuits. Yeah, we won't start paying extra until we have debt. Oh, so that's what we're working on right now, is our other debt, like credit cards. So the good thing is that we only have credit cards for debt. One credit card is completely paid off. That's our emergency credit card. It's the one my husband has had for, like, his first credit card when he moved out. So he's had it for like 24 years, 25 years or so. That's our emergency credit card. The other credit cards we have one that's 3,000 and one that's 5,000, but we're not at max of those, and I think we only have about, oh, this lid doesn't fit with this container. We only have about 20, no, we only have like 5,000 or 6,000 left on our line of credit or loan, like, more, I don't know, our thingy for the kitchen that we took it out. There we go. Have to find the right, see, this lid fits, but this one doesn't. It has a smaller ridge. Go figure. Some of my containers, they look the same, but they're not quite. I'm going to get some more of these. I really like these ones from Costco. So they had them for $10.99, but they're not divided. But they're $10.99. You get like 50 of them, so 25 lids and 25 bottoms. See, we don't have cars, so that's the joys of not driving. It's not my car. Oh, I want to put this in the bag. Oh. So, I gotta get going, but, because hubby's gonna be leaving soon. Thanks for stopping by. Oops, whoa, hit a lot. Wait. Nice been chatting with you guys. And, I'll be finishing putting the recipe in my menu plan for the month. The ones that we have on Pinterest, and the link to the cookbook that I'm using for most of my other recipes. And then some things like porcupine balls. I'll go look. I think I have one in my Pinterest as well. So, and as you can see, I did a menu plan. I have a video done, so that's what this week's one is. So hopefully it'll inspire you.